So explain the whole part about the time you went on the train, and you were saying only you and Harold, was it you and Harold Gish were the only ones that had a particular standing in the army, and then when you were on the train?
Oh yeah. Well, you don't remember the war years because in the war years, in the Air Force fellows wore navy blue outfits, and their caps had a flash on them of white. If they were pilots or in the air crew. If they were not in air crew, they didn't have that white flash. They just had blue caps. Well, we as Army cadets had white flashes on our shoulders and the white caps that like the Air Force people in the Army did, which separated or made us different from ordinary privates anymore. So we were officer cadets, and we were paid twice as much as the privates were.
So why did you get this position? Because you'd been in a cadet before going into the Army? Is that like part of this?
I got it because I went through it because I was in the COTC, and we got into the Army through the COTC. So I didn't have an officer cadet. In other words, I was supposed to be going to be trained to be an officer in the Army, but and we were still being trained as officers to be officers in the Army. But this happened that Gordon Head didn't need any more officers in training at that time, and we weren't up to it, and they had figured. So we never did get to the real officers training place out there at Gordon Head. That that was.
But you were officer cadets, is what you were called.
We were called officer cadets.
Okay.
But there were only two of us in Alberta, and that was Harold Gish and myself. The rest had all gone out to Gordon Head, or else they'd been discharged from the Army or something or other. I don't want. But anyway, it wasn't usual for officers cadets to be in Alberta. And on this one particular weekend, Phyllis and I had decided to come to Edmonton for some reason. I don't just remember why. And can't remember what this exactly. Anyway, we decided to come. Anyway, and I was supposed to have a weekend pass for the weekend, well, so I would have been free to go to Edmonton, which was fine. It just happened there was a fire on the Sarcee camp on Friday, and all of a sudden they canceled all leaves for everybody in case we'd be needed for firefighting. Mm-hmm. Well, then on Friday night, later on Friday night or Saturday morning, they said it was all clear. We were fine. We could all go for the weekend. That was fine. I didn't have time to get a pass before I to catch the train to Edmonton, so I skipped out without a pass and got the train to Edmonton. And that's when the MPs, the military police, came through to check to make sure all the fellows everybody had a pass. So all the privates were bringing out their passes to show them to these MPs, and when they got to me, they sort of stood and looked at me for a minute or two, and they couldn't decide what to do with me. So finally they clicked their heels and saluted and said, "Good afternoon, sir," and walked on past. Meantime, I almost fainted. It was kind of funny. I didn't have any trouble getting back anyway afterwards. So that was, and then of course we got married at Curry Barracks eventually.